Good evening, my giant pumpkin and gardening fellow enthusiasts, friends, subscribers to the channel, and random people who are watching me right now. Hello, I'm Chad. This is my greenhouse. We grow giant pumpkins, watermelons, and tomatoes in here this year. If that interests you at all, stay tuned. Well, I know that was difficult to go through that sweet intro, but since you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's right down there. After you hit the subscribe button, it turns into a bell shape. Click that bell shape. It'll get some little lines around it. That will notify you when I post a new video, so you stay up to date on the breaking news that's happening here in the greenhouse with the hard-hitting information that you need to know. Anyway, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about our plants. Today is the 7th, June the 7th, the month of pollination. If you are serious about growing giant pumpkins and you want that 2,000 pounder or to beat your own state record, needs to happen in June ideally. Doesn't have to, but it should. Emily and I just got back from vacation. It was an amazing time. We went to Taos. We took naps, we ate copious amounts of Mexican food. It was amazing. I think I gained 7 pounds, but it's worth it. We got back, we went to a concert. Grandma and Papa Del were kind enough to watch the kids. No kids for 4 days. Man, I could feel my hair growing back and getting brown again. It was amazing, but we're back, we got the kids, and it's all gone. Love them to death though, we did miss them. Background information. This past 6 or 8 weeks, it's felt like we have lived in Seattle. It has rained and it has been cloudy every single day. Along with that comes cool temperatures. We might get sun from 7 to 11 or 12, but then the rain comes in and it's been raining and just cloudy every day. As such, the plants are growing slower than I want. May was the 4th wettest May on record for Denver as a whole. Parker had more. I think we've had 9 inches of rain, which for us is unheard of. And June so far, we're at 1.5 inches, thereabouts. And the record for the wettest June was 4 inches. So we're trending in that direction. I don't expect it to last. Colorado will shake this Seattle-ness off and we'll get back to being hot and dry, but it's just peculiar and worth mentioning. Just in case something happens, I already have my excuses lined up. But enough about the excuses. All in all, the plants are doing great. I'll grab the phone, I'll show you the plants, we'll talk about it a little bit, and we'll get out of here nice and early. Okay, the plants. This is the south plant, the one that is closest to the wall. I did get this one buried today. Got caught up, buried, pulled some weeds. I am going to have weed problems as I was afraid of. I should have got weed fabric like I told myself I was going to, but I didn't, so oh well, such is life. I'll deal with it like I always have, and yeah, we'll get on with it. The last video, the plant was about here, and all of this has grown as well as the secondaries. So the plant grew basically, well, I don't know, a little more than 6 feet in what, 7-8 days? 31st plus 7, yeah, so 8 days. It grew about 6 and 6.5 feet or so, which is really good. So total, these valves are in 1 foot increments. So if I go from where my secondary vine is buried, which will probably terminate that one after it grows back a little bit. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So probably about 16 feet long and, I don't know, probably close to 10 foot wide. It's hard to measure the width of this plant because, again, I do the mic method the spider, the waterfall, whatever you want to call it, the diamond. Everybody seems to have a different name for it. I like spider, being in my line of work. I think the spider method is what I'll stick with. Mike Schmidt's spider method. So yeah, it's looking really good. While I was gone, obviously I wasn't here to fertilize it. Just kind of put it on autopilot. The plant responded with this. They're really magnesium hungry this year, so I wasn't able to feed it. So the leaves are a little bit yellow and in some spots. That's okay. Got back on top of it. So I do have. It's the 17th. You want to pollinate, in mid-ish June. If you want a shot at 2,000 pounds or thereabouts, mid to late June is my window typically. I'm not pollinating the start of June. A lot of people are. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't think that you have to do that to get really big pumpkins. Mid to early July is fine. I've had 1,500 pound pumpkins that I pollinated like July 10th. So beginning of June, don't think that you have to do that, but you want to be at least mid-June if you're serious with things. This pumpkin, I tore off a pumpkin that was back here, or this plant, I tore off a pumpkin that was back here. I do have one in the tip. So once they're in the tip, you're 10 to 14 days away from pollination. So if we're on the 7th right now, plus 10 days, 17th, that's perfect for me. At that point, I'll have probably 16, 16, we'll call it 16. 16 secondaries behind the fruit to push it forward, push that juice, the energy, the nutrients to the pumpkin. So that's fine with me. It's also worth noting that I'm running out of space. So the watermelons start here. So that means I have, let's see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have about 8 feet. 8 feet left. By the time the pumpkin, that's probably 4 feet. So then I'll have 4 foot of pumpkin growth. So it'll be just about perfect. If not the end of the world. I'll swing that main vine around and I'll have the pumpkin be over here somewhere. But ideally, it'll be that first one. So the other plant, the north plant, is this one is just as aggressive. It's doing really good, great secondary vine growth on this one, probably more so than the south side plant. In fact, I did not get to bury the vines on this one today. I have a male flower opening there, but I will get to it tomorrow or this weekend at some point. I did step in the soil. My footprint. Did the cardinal sin to check if there's a pumpkin in the tip of this one, and there is. So I'm in good shape with both my plants. I've got pumpkins in the tips of the vines. That's always a concern this time of the year, is kind of where are the pumpkins. Speaking of, I didn't take this one off. Too fat. Take this one off. So this is the first one. I wouldn't pollinate this one anyway, but that looks really nice. That's hopefully will continue on. Nice round looking fruit. Looks like they'll be orange. Hopefully that continues. Let's pop this off real fast. See what kind of lobe action we got. Been a 4-lober with 1 deformed lobe, not a problem. I ripped a pumpkin off of that one too. That was also a 4-lobe, but perfectly symmetrical 4-lobe. So that's all I got for you. Just a general once over on how everything's doing. It's doing good. We could use some more sun. Help these plants darken up a hair. They're not real bad. This one's a little more lighter because it's on the cooler half of the greenhouse, I think. But all in all, I'm happy. Oh, I guess we should look at the watermelons and the tomatoes. Before I left, I took a cattle panel and just put 2 T-posts, banged them into the ground, zip tied the cattle panel that I cut 6 foot off of and I have 3 of the 9.06 browns, I think is what that is, the tomato plant that grew the world record. So I got those on here. I'll trellis them to this. That just seemed logical and easy for me to manage. The watermelon plants are starting to grow. They're doing pretty good. This one is a hair more aggressive than this one, which is fine. I don't know how fast they're supposed to grow. I know people already have watermelons growing, so by that metric, I'm I'm very behind. But I'm totally fine with that. They'll start to grow, but they're looking good. I have my long gourds over there. That's my last project of the year, is to build the long gourd trellis. If I get around to it, we'll see. So that's it. Everything's looking really well, really good. I can't complain. If you have any questions, comment below. I'll get to them eventually. Make sure you get out there, support Ron Wallace, support Neptune's Harvest. These are not sponsors of mine, just good people selling good products. That's it. If you have any questions, again, comment below. Get out there, grow yourself a giant pumpkin. We'll catch you next week. See ya.